Goodness, why are you guys fighting over the same feeder? There's another feeder almost empty, just has one chick on it. It's got the same feed. All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I thought we'd just take a few minutes today and we would discuss the things that we have learned. I kind of wish my wife would be out here on this. She could add so much more input than I could on this. She's kind of a wealth of knowledge when it comes to these chickens. I actually use her for anytime there's an issue come up. I usually go to her first because she does so well with these, and actually pretty much any animal that we've ever had here, she's pretty good on. So maybe you guys comment below, ask her to be in the next video. Maybe we can get her to come out here. No promises, but maybe we can. I mean, it was her idea to start doing these video vlogs to start with. But in the meantime, I thought we'd talk about just the things we've learned since we started the poultry business. And one of the things that we've learned is you got to have patience. I mean, you're not going to go buy some chicks from Tractor Supply today and have eggs tomorrow. It just don't happen that way. It takes time and patience. You got to grow them out. Sometimes it can be almost a year before you get that first egg, depending on the type of chicken you get, the feed you feed them, weather conditions, all that comes into play when you're trying to get that first egg. But one of the number one things we've learned that is we really, really enjoy the electric poultry fence system we have here. I would be a very good advertiser for this fact, for the fact that it has been such a game changer for us. Since we ordered this electric poultry fence, we're actually we're wanting to buy another one for next year to add to this, because it's been so good for us. Until we bought this poultry fence, we lost a lot of chickens. We was constantly losing chickens to ground attacks, mainly from dogs, but there's other predators in the area too, because we have foxes and we have coyotes and about anything you can think in between there. But again, that's not going to protect you from stuff like the owls and the hawks and stuff to fly over, which we have them too. The electric poultry fence system, it's been great because we can kind of almost like even though they're not free ranging, it's almost like they're free ranging, because we can keep them out on the grass like they need to be to keep that good texture egg. And it saves on feed too, because you're not keeping them locked up in the coop all the time. They're out there where they can still get their bugs and the grass and all that stuff that they really need for a healthy diet anyway. So the electric poultry fence is awesome. Something else we've learned is pasture feeding saves money. It really does. Obviously, if you have them locked up in a chicken coop all the time, you're going to have to spend a lot of money just in feed, keeping them eating well. You got them out on the outside. They eat, a lot of their diet comes from the insects and the bugs and everything else that they just pick up off the ground. And some chickens you don't even have to feed. We actually got a few chickens that are out of the fence that by their choice, because they fly over. That's going to be something else we'll talk about in a few minutes. But no, they don't get no feed because they're outside the fence. So they're eating pretty much whatever they pick up off the ground. There's certain breeds that actually do well as a free-ranging bird. All right. And we might talk about that in a minute. Something else that we've learned is, if you want eggs, you really got to watch the chicken diets. When they're, of course, they get plenty of protein and stuff when they're outside because they're able to get the bugs and stuff. But something else that you got to watch is that calcium. We had an instance here a while back when we had some chickens that just plumb stopped laying. We couldn't figure out what was going on. Uh, well, we started adding oyster shells and a little bit of milk to their diet, and they started getting eggs again. And what it was the feed that we was feeding them didn't have the calcium in it to keep the eggs laying. And that was when we had them stuck in a spot where there wasn't no grass and stuff, and they wasn't able to get what they needed. We had to change their diet some. And when you get them when they quit laying, that's one of the things you need to do is start watching what's in the feed. Because chickens need protein and they need calcium to make those eggs. So kind of keep an eye on that. And something else that we've learned is chickens will eat almost anything. And anybody who has chickens will tell you this. And if you're worried about the things that you can't feed them, well, the chickens know. If it's something that they can't eat that's harmful for them and makes them sick, they won't touch it. They naturally know not to touch it. At least ours seem to. So, they're kind of like a hog. They will eat almost anything. And one of the big things that we've learned is the fact that we like the bigger birds the best. If we had to do this all over again, I think the only kind of chickens we would buy would probably be buff Orpingtons and maybe some sapphire gems. And maybe some of these Jersey Giants that we're kind of experimenting with right now. I don't think their egg production is going to be like the buff Orpingtons and stuff is, but the fact that the bigger birds will stay in the poultry fence. I'm learning that I don't really like having anything that has leghorn in them because they are such a flighty bird. They can actually get out of the fence, and we got some that stay out now, and they like to roost in the pine tree, and it's a pain in the butt getting them back in the pen and stuff. Actually, last night I was so fed up that I just let them stay in the tree because I get tired of shaking them out of it. If they get too far up, I can't reach them, and I just have to grab a hold of the limb and start shaking. Unless you're free ranging, or got them if you're going to keep them in a poultry fence, I'd stay away from anything that's real flighty, like anything that has leghorn in it. Like our California whites, that's mainly what a California white is a leghorn chicken. Now they will produce a lot of eggs, and if you can free range or keep them cooped up, then they're a good bird to have. Like I said, they will lay a lot of eggs. These are just some things that we have learned since we've been doing this whole setup. It's been kind of interesting. Yes, if I had to do it all over again, I would do chickens again. But like I said, I would watch the breeds. I'd be more careful about the breeds, about having all these different breeds that we have, because, like I said, not all of them are meant for the poultry fence lifestyle. Which we will be putting these in a barn here in probably the next week. I got to get the set up so we can get them winterized for the barn. There's going to be some that are going to be left outside in another location, probably the turkeys and the geese. I'm going to leave out for a while anyway, just because I think it'd be better for them to stay outside. We enjoy just sitting here watching these birds. We really do. The geese, they're hilarious. The turkeys, turkeys kind of got a little bit of a mean streak in them at times, especially when there's food involved. That one turkey you're looking at there, I don't know if you're showing them on camera or not, but it's one of the nicer ones, the bigger ones. He gets a little agitated sometimes, but it's been a real experience. And are we going to buy any more laying hens next year? We're not looking for it. I know we'll probably have to replace some, but we'll replace them with hatchlings that will hatch from here. We're not going to replace them from some that we buy from the store or another hatchery, because I think we got enough chickens on hand to do for what we need. But what I am probably and really highly considering doing is getting some meat birds to try. Just not to sell, but to have them in our own freezer. We processed some Buff Orpington roosters here a while back, and I learned that it's really not as hard as I thought it was going to be. So I kind of think that might be the way to go. And on the plus side, with those type of chickens, we'll know what they eat. You don't really know what you're eating when you buy the chickens from the store. So, but with all this being said, when it comes out to what we've learned, I kind of feel like Socrates on that when he said, I am the wisest man alive in the fact that I know one thing, and that is I know nothing. We're constantly learning. Every day we learn something new with these chickens. And as we learn and process the information, it makes us better as chicken farmers to boot. So pay attention to your livestock. They'll tell you what they need, what they like, what they don't like. And, never know what you're going to miss until you try it. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day. Thanks for watching. Okay, Annie, what do you think?